Dawn broke over the forest monastery, painting the sky with gentle hues. Buddha stood silently beneath the ancient Bodhi tree. His disciples gathered around him, their robes swaying gently with the morning breeze. An air of serenity embraced the moment. One disciple stepped forward and bowed deeply, his face reflecting curiosity and reverence. "Master," he began, his voice steady, "teach us the art of mindful communication," he asked, his gaze meeting Buddha's. "How can we embody wisdom in our words?" Buddha's eyes gleamed with gentle compassion as he nodded. "Words are vessels of intention," he said, "but intention precedes speech." He gestured toward the rising sun, its light stretching into every corner of the forest like sunlight. Intention illuminates before it touches. "Begin with silence," Buddha continued, his voice rhythmic as the rustling leaves. "In silence, intention blooms and aligns with the heart's truth." He paused and smiled softly, allowing his disciples to absorb his words. The moment stretched like an infinite breath. "Let me share a tale," Buddha said, his tone carrying the weight of timeless wisdom. "A farmer sought my guidance." The disciples leaned closer, their attention unwavering. Buddha continued, weaving the story with deliberate precision. "This farmer approached without speaking," Buddha said, his gaze distant yet focused. He bowed deeply, showing respect without uttering a word. "I responded in kind," Buddha said, his lips forming a faint smile. In that silence, our hearts recognized one another. Later, the farmer posed his question, Buddha said, his tone calm and steady. His words were infused with clarity and respect. "The silent greeting," Buddha explained, cultivated a connection far deeper than spoken words ever could. It aligned our intentions. A disciple raised his hand, his face reflecting curiosity. "Master," he said, "how can we practice silence in communication today?" Buddha inclined his head slightly, his gaze soft yet probing. "Consider the art of written communication," he began, his tone gentle. "Before pen meets paper or fingers touch keys," Buddha said. "Pause and reflect on your true intention. Begin with thought. Let your greeting reflect this intention," Buddha added. "Even in writing, the tone of your message begins within yourself." Another disciple stepped forward, his voice eager yet steady. "Master, can silence truly bridge gaps between hearts?" he asked. Buddha nodded with conviction, his eyes reflecting ancient wisdom. "Silence carries the weight of authenticity," he said. "Words then become meaningful." He gestured toward a sparrow perched on a branch nearby, its song filling the air with delicate joy. "Observe the sparrow. The sparrow chirps," Buddha said, his voice calm, "but first it pauses. In that pause, the song finds its meaning. Likewise, your pause before communication," Buddha added, "allows intention to shape the tone and depth of your message." The disciples exchanged glances, their minds busy unraveling Buddha's teachings. However, the number of visitors grew, and with it, the strain upon the land and its fragile paths. The winding trail eroded, and the mountain's flora bore the scars of unmindful footsteps and excessive human presence. He spoke again, his voice steady yet profound. "Remember," Buddha said, his words deliberate, "communication begins not in speech but in the alignment of intention and silence." The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts filled with reverence and clarity. Buddha's teachings settled in their minds like seeds. Pilgrims were encouraged to contribute to the restoration efforts, fostering a shared sense of responsibility and interconnectedness. The temple remained a sanctuary, not only for the soul but for the natural world it existed within. His presence radiated an unspoken connection with all life. Time passed, yet his words echoed timelessly in the minds of his disciples, urging them to communicate with mindfulness and respect. The Bodhi tree stood as a silent witness, rooted deeply yet reaching out toward the sky. Wisdom embraced the moment. Another day. The sun rose over the forest monastery, casting gentle light through the trees. Buddha walked along the path. His disciples followed him, their steps quiet and measured. The forest echoed with birdsong, weaving harmony into the morning air. They reached the edge of a bubbling stream, its water reflecting the sky. Buddha stopped and turned to face them. One disciple stepped forward, bowing deeply. "Master," he said, "teach us how to bring clarity into our communication." Buddha gestured to the stream, his hand flowing smoothly like the current. "Observe this stream," he said, his tone calm. "Seek balance in your travels and guide others to embrace mindfulness, fostering harmony wherever your path may lead." The mountain temple stands as a beacon of the middle path, a symbol of the power of moderation. "The stream flows without hesitation," he said. "Its clarity allows everything within it to be seen without distortion." In communication, Buddha continued, "We must embody this clarity. Words must flow with purpose, free from unnecessary clutter or confusion." A disciple asked, "Master, how do we ensure our words are free from confusion?" His voice carried both curiosity and reverence. Buddha smiled gently, gesturing for the disciple to sit. He then began sharing a story. "There was a merchant," Buddha began, "who wrote letters filled with emotion and urgency. But his words caused misunderstanding. The recipients felt overwhelmed," Buddha explained, unable to grasp his true intention amidst the flood of words and emotions. The disciples listened intently, their minds absorbing the wisdom woven into the story. Buddha paused briefly, letting the silence settle. "The merchant sought my guidance," Buddha said. "I handed him a lamp and instructed, 'Light only what truly needs light.'" They approached the travelers with kindness, sharing the importance of protecting the town's sacred spaces and natural environment. Local traditions were shared, fostering a deep appreciation for the culture and heritage that defined the coastal community. The merchant returned, Buddha said, writing letters with precision and care. Each word carried purpose and clarity. Nothing more. The recipients understood him, Buddha said. Their responses reflected gratitude and ease, fostering connection rather than confusion. Buddha turned back to the stream, watching the water ripple over stones. His gaze held infinite understanding. Just as the stream flows around obstacles, Buddha said, so must your words navigate with intention, avoiding unnecessary distractions. A disciple asked, Master, how do we avoid distractions in our communication? His voice was earnest, seeking deeper understanding. Before speaking or writing, Buddha said, pause and ask yourself, does this word serve my true intention? If it does not, Buddha added, leave it unsaid. Allow space for silence, for silence amplifies the clarity of what remains. The disciples bowed their heads, their minds reflecting on the practical wisdom of Buddha's teaching. The sound of the stream continued. Buddha gestured to the stream again. Notice the space between the ripples, he said. Even within flow, there is pause and breath. In communication, Buddha continued, we must honor this space. It allows our words to breathe and carry their true meaning. Another disciple spoke, his voice steady. The Buddha's voice became quieter, yet each word resonated deeply. Like waves lapping gently against the shore, the ocean, vast and immeasurable, teaches us about humility and the infinite interconnection of all existence. It gives the recipient time to reflect. Rushing words is like flooding a garden, Buddha said. It drowns rather than nourishes. Speak with balance, allowing growth. As the sun continued to rise, illuminating the vast landscape, the Buddha addressed his disciples one final time. Carry this lesson with you in all your journeys. For the path of mindfulness is not confined to travel. Remember, he said, Communication is not only the art of saying but also the art of pausing. The disciples bowed deeply, carrying Buddha's wisdom into their hearts. The stream flowed on, a silent testament to clarity and balance. Another day, the disciples gathered beneath the Bodhi tree, their faces reflecting both clarity and questions. Buddha stood before them silently. The sun bathed the forest in a soft glow, its light filtering through the leaves. A gentle breeze touched their robes. "Master," one disciple began, his voice steady, "we have learned to begin communication mindfully and to speak with clarity." Buddha regarded Sujata with deep compassion, his eyes holding the depth of understanding. "Sujata, your suffering reflects a universal truth." He gestured for his disciples to sit, the rustling leaves above harmonizing with his words. "Let me share a story," he began. "Bring me a mustard seed from a household untouched by sorrow." Sujata, and we shall begin. Sujata, renewed with hope, journeyed through the village, seeking the elusive household spared from the pangs of suffering. The teacher responded quickly, offering solutions but overlooking the students' emotions. The disciples exchanged glances, their attention fixed on Buddha. His words seemed to carry the weight of human experience. The student felt unheard. Buddha said, his voice calm. I followed closely, the uneven path beneath me now appearing less daunting, its challenges revealing layers of meaning and truth. The disciples murmured among themselves, their earlier complaints fading, their thoughts visibly turning as they considered the Buddha's teachings. Grief unites us, for its weight is universal. By understanding this, you awaken compassion for yourself and for others. It built a bridge of trust and brought clarity to his mind. Buddha looked at his disciples, his eyes filled with gentle wisdom. Compassion must guide our responses, he said. Connection precedes solution. A disciple raised his hand, his expression thoughtful. Master, he asked, how can we ensure our responses are compassionate and mindful? Buddha smiled softly, his voice resonating with clarity. Pause before replying, he said. In the pause, reflect on the other's emotions and intentions. Speak not to reply, Buddha added, but to connect. Only then do your words carry the essence of understanding. Through this realization, we learn to let go of attachments, embracing the ever-changing nature of existence with grace and acceptance. Master, another disciple asked, how do we face suffering without becoming consumed by its endless pain? Observe suffering as you would clouds passing through the sky, Buddha said. In written communication, Buddha said, acknowledge the recipient's emotions first. This opens their heart to truly receive your words. Without acknowledgement, Buddha explained, your message may feel hollow, like a flute without breath to bring it to life. Another disciple leaned forward, his curiosity evident. Master, he asked, how can compassion bridge divides created by misunderstanding? Buddha gestured to a tree nearby, its branches intertwining with others. Connection thrives in shared roots, he said, his tone steady. Even when misunderstanding arises, Buddha added, compassion reminds us of the shared root of our existence, the bond that remains unbroken. He turned his gaze to the horizon, where the sun began its slow descent. When you respond, Buddha said, see the other. Do not see merely a question or a grievance, Buddha continued. See a soul-seeking connection, understanding, and recognition. The disciples nodded, their faces reflecting deep contemplation. Buddha's words seemed to weave a tapestry of wisdom in their minds. Compassion transforms communication, Buddha said, his voice steady. It is not only the bridge but the destination. A disciple spoke, his voice soft. Master, he said, sometimes words fail. How can compassion still prevail? Buddha turned to him, his expression gentle. In silence, he said, compassion speaks through presence. Sometimes The heart hears what words cannot convey. He gestured toward the forest. Its expanse vast and interconnected. Silence. Like the forest, Buddha said, holds space for understanding to grow. The disciples sat quietly, their breaths aligning with the rhythm of the moment. Buddha's presence seemed to magnify the silence. Remember, Buddha said, his voice breaking the stillness. A compassionate response requires awareness of the heart, the mind, and the space between. The sun dipped lower, casting a golden hue across the monastery. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts touched by profound understanding. As they dispersed, their footsteps mingling with the rustling leaves. Buddha stood motionless under the Bodhi tree, a silent beacon of wisdom. Time passed, yet his words continued to echo, urging them to embrace compassion in all their connections, both spoken and unspoken. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.